Okay, so it seems like the VShojo situation is getting even more interesting. Now, this is pretty crazy because there's a couple of things that have happened literally in the past like day or so, not even like in the past couple of hours. And the first one is an alleged Gunrun sighting. Now, if you don't know, Gunrun is the CEO of VShojo who created this terrible response, which is plastered on the VShojo page. And we covered recently the fact that he could be actually kind of going for personal bankruptcy, which is very interesting. A lot of people were interested in that case because it seems like after the whole VShojo stuff, he lost all of his money and was looking to kind of run off. But it seems like we have an idea on what his new job is now and what he's getting up to ever since obviously screwing over all of these VTuber talents, right? And it seems like he's now doing DoorDash, which is pretty interesting. Obviously, yeah, this tweet here from someone called error code Rose saying, oh, hey, did not expect to get this attention, but yeah, for context, he was delivering food to staff for an idol event I was performing at, and I saw him going up the stairs, lol. So, and then this is the original tweet. Guys, I just saw Gunrun doing DoorDash in Little Tokyo, jump scare. And obviously you got like Phoebe-chan here saying, huh? He said, oh yeah, this is right after you guys had went down to perform. So again, this is very interesting because it has a lot of different kind of nuances to it, including the fact obviously that he is doing DoorDash now. But also this just so happened to be at an idol event where some of the talent obviously he was supposed to be kind of looking after and stuff were performing, which makes me interested in, was he actually doing DoorDash or was he there for something else? Because again, it just seems a little bit too coincidental that some of these talent were here and performing at this kind of idol event. But again, maybe it was complete coincidence and he ended up delivering food to a Little Tokyo idol event, which just so happened to have some people that he was working with in the past, including obviously Phoebe-chan. So again, obviously that was pretty interesting. And they said, wait, that's even worse. They said, yeah, glad it was staff that had to interact with him. So God, imagine if Phoebe had got that food and said, I would have protected her at all costs. You know, got people as well as saying, oh my God, bro, you know, bro have not been given a tip, which, yeah, it would have been quite funny. But it's just funny to hear that, you know, he is still about and now working on his new job as a DoorDash driver, which is completely different to the CEO of a kind of VTuber company, right? He said he has to pay the $500,000 to the Immune Deficiency Foundation somehow. The IRS would fold him in court anyways. Said, wasn't he fairly loaded regardless of the fallout? That he's filing bankruptcy, I think, chapter 11. But don't quote me on that. So I doubt it is. I doubt he isn't big enough to have the resources to bounce back like others do, especially with his name being what it is. Said I guess it depends on if he kept his own finances separate or what countries he kept his finances in. The chapter 7, you can actually prove a quote. So yeah, obviously that was a court listed docket that was out, which essentially was talking about the fact that he did file for personal bankruptcy, which was pretty interesting. So it was VShojo was in at least $1 million debt, upwards to of how much, who knows. The investors want their money back, the talent wants their money back, the merch producers want their money back. Whatever he had done before, let's just say he was a millionaire and it's most likely gone. Then he could be fined if all of that debt is under the VShojo name and not his. Then if he is driving Uber Eats and he got good money, he used personal collateral to avoid business loans and is now on the hook for those. Otherwise, he'd just be looking for his old job as an event manager, which, yeah, usually what these kind of people do is they will just tend to go into the same thing that they were kind of doing, but like in a different way. You know, like obviously Gunrun is a big like event manager, big kind of organizer, right? And yeah, usually they would just go and find a different job, maybe in a different space where they don't really know his name as much to do that kind of stuff. But it seems like he's been kind of unsuccessful with that, and it's just diverted to the job that a lot of people have, which is doing food delivery for people, which, yeah, obviously a lot of people have been clowning on him in the comments for what has really been going on. And yeah, I mean, people are bringing up the memes of like him working at Walmart or him flipping some burgers at McDonald's. Again, that is the common meme that people have whenever people fall off, right? Is that you're going to be at McDonald's putting the fries in the bag type thing, right? And I think it is quite funny that that is pretty much what has happened with Gunrun so far, if this sighting is true. Obviously, they could be lying, they could be making it up. But again, I feel like they do... you know, they got 500 followers, so again, I don't think they're like that big. So again, I think there's also a chance that this could also not be true, but you got people like Phoebe-chan as well commenting on it, so it seems like they have some kind of interactions. I'm not sure, but hey, you know, I thought it was quite funny if that is true. Also, we got GeexPlus as well announcing something, which is also another crazy part to do with the VShojo stuff, which is Hime Hajime actually joining GeexPlus. So this is one of the first talent, I think the first talent, I can't think of any other talent that's joined another agency since this whole VShojo stuff, which again is great to see. And obviously we all know who Hime Hajime is behind the scenes, obviously Sitsnap, if you don't know, and we know how much of a connection she has with the GeexPlus staff, so she's going to be taken very, very much with care there, because obviously Gartler's over there, Sea-Dog, you know, the Anime Man, everyone like that, they're all over there. And so yeah, she's pretty much been involved with them from the start anyways, and it was just kind of a thing that will work out for them. And that also has me thinking, you know, will they be signing any of the other talent to that to GeexPlus as well? Because they have been growing a lot of their staff. You know, they haven't just been like signing a couple of people, because they did start off with a very, very small talent base. You know, obviously just the Trash Taste people and maybe a couple of others, right? But now they're actually growing and inviting more people in, and now obviously Hime Hajime's in. Potentially we could see people like ironmouse and stuff join. You never know, because obviously maybe she's done with companies for now, and obviously that completely makes sense. But obviously, you know, Sea-Dog is a part of it, and so many other people, so potentially we could see her going over, or maybe some others. Again, it would be interesting to see, but also there's many other options. And also, as I said, I understand totally if they don't want to be involved with any kind of company within at least the next year or so, because they've had their fair share of companies being pretty horrible to them. Not saying that GeexPlus will be horrible to them, by the way, but again, I can understand the concern that some people would have for them joining another company so quickly, just regardless of how good or how bad they are, right? But again, GeexPlus have been growing pretty massively recently. They are owned by Katakawa, which obviously is yeah, interesting. They have a good money source, and they've been working on a lot of really good productions recently, including obviously Barn and a couple of other anime slash kind of you know, web, I think it's a webcomic series and whatever. So again, it's really great to see with other people, including Dylan Goon, Otaku Versus. So again, that is great. And you can see here, they've been like kind of lining up so many more people, including new VTubers like Siren, which we talked about the other day, who joined GeexPlus too. So again, they do seem to be picking up more VTubers over the past couple of months or weeks or so. And I think that honestly could signify that they're looking to kind of increase their VTuber roster. I think they've already got Onigiri over there too. So again, hopefully we do see some more people over here, because I do genuinely believe in GeexPlus to look after them and do what is best for them, because they have done for all of the other people a part of their group so far. So again, it would be nice to see some of maybe the Ex-VShojo talent joining Hime Hajime and actually going over there, because, you know, obviously they have that such like deep connection and things like that. So again, obviously that is essentially all the news we have for VShojo at the moment. Obviously the alleged Gunrun sighting, but also as well, yeah, we've got GeexPlus signing Hime Hajime, which, as I said, is a great move for her and a great move for GeexPlus as well with their growing roster. But yeah, I mean, that is essentially it. If you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop, use my code KAZO, get 10% off. Again, they got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, as I said, sorry for my voice and everything. I am a little bit ill, and I just got back from holiday. So yeah, the setup is back to normal, which is great, and it's actually so much easier to record stuff now. Bro, on the laptop, it was so hard. I had to like kind of like do all of this random stuff, set everything up, and then go live. Oh, it was so hard. But now it's really, really easy. So videos will be coming out quicker, more sooner. And yeah, we'll be back on it going forward. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.